Okay, I hope you watched part 1, so this is part 2. In part 2 we're going to go over modern portfolio theory. Modern portfolio theory is what Ray Dalio calls the holy grail of investing. That is, you can diversify your assets so far and so much that you can have as much return as possible for as little risk. There's certain assumptions that are made when you take this kind of assets and this kind of risk, which is what I'll go over in part 3. But I'm just going to explain a simple concept to you and hopefully that helps. So in the previous video we just showed you how to calculate the arithmetic. In this video I'm going to show you what modern portfolio theory is. Okay, so modern portfolio theory basically says if you have a 100% stock portfolio and a 100% bond portfolio, because you do not expect bonds to return as much as you do stocks, its expected return is lower, and the volatility is also lower because it doesn't move as much. The stock market can go up 20% in a year, but the bond market not as likely. Here in stocks here. Okay, so what you do is you take a 60-40 portfolio. This is where this idea of 60-40 comes from, and you should have a higher return than just a bond portfolio, but with a lot less risk, almost the same amount of risk as a 100% bond portfolio. So if you think about it, you're getting more return for not much more risk. So this is the idea of modern portfolio theory. And it works, it does really work, and it works even better if you do this thing called leverage. Okay, so we have leverage on eToro and we do use it. So what you do is you pull this entire curve up by adding more leverage, exactly. So I'll go into an example later and that will be easier to understand, but that's generally the idea. And this is the ideal point you want to reach, lowest risk with maximum return. Okay, so all this in theory sounds great and it does work. I'm going to show you that in a bit. So the example I'm going to use is Tesla and VIX. Okay, so right here I have a Tesla portfolio and a VIX portfolio. So this is the same thing I did for the Aussie USD, but I did it for VIX and all that. Okay, so this is just a very simple example. If you did a complete return of VIX and Tesla, what you will have is return of about 29. Okay, so I'm just going to use half a portfolio because of the amount of risk that's taken. So let's say half a portfolio. 25% in VXX and 25% in Tesla. Okay, so exactly what I've done here. Long Tesla and short the VIX. Okay, so return would be, together it will be about 40.59% return. This is just in 2017 with a standard deviation of 3.82. So this would give you a risk score of 4, just slightly under 5, yeah? Okay, and that would be great if you just had a 25-25 weight. But what happens when I change the weight to 0.38 and 0.12? Because we said just now we want to have lower volatility asset having a little bit more weight in it, and a higher return asset to have less weight in it. So what we would have is essentially this 50.27 and 3.88. So some of you may be thinking, you still take more risk, and you do get a higher return, but you do take more risk. That is true, except that the amount of risk we're taking here is only 0.06. That still puts us in the same risk score as we did just now. Still here. So I will still have the same risk score, but I have a 10% more higher return, and 10% is a lot of difference in terms of these portfolios. So this is just a very, 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 very simple example of how modern portfolio theory works. Okay, in part 3 I'm going to go over where it can go wrong. So I hope you liked that video. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, or watch a video recommended by YouTube here, or watch one of my videos here. Thanks.